Hello, welcome to Monday night's calendar.
Yes, hello, good evening. Here are tonight's main stories.
Charged up, residents fight plans for a battery storage facility on Greenbelt land. The company behind it, though, says it'll provide energy for thousands of people.
It's going to be a huge construction, a massive construction, which will totally blight the whole of this area.
We've chosen the least impactful location for this project to go, and our view is that we have.
Emotional anniversary. Ukrainians who fled Russia 3 years ago say they're still resolute, including those who've recently lost relatives in fighting.
We buried him, so we didn't have a chance to see again, and to see him alive. I mean, and I just had such feeling that we are saying hello goodbye for forever.
I'm at Bramall Lane ahead of a huge Yorkshire derby. Sheffield United take on Leeds United in a top of the championship clash.
And going for gold, the Yorkshire comedian who made a big impression on Ant and Dec.
So first tonight, a campaign against a proposed battery storage site in North Derbyshire, which protesters say will cause environmental and fire safety risks if the plan goes ahead.
Planning permission to store batteries on Greenbelt land near Dromfield has been rejected by county councillors, but it'll be considered by the planning inspectorate later this week.
The company behind it says their plan will provide energy for thousands of local homes and businesses, but that hasn't stopped concerns. Sally Simpson reports.
These open fields have already been protected from development once, when planning permission to build was rejected. But Wylem Energy wants to put a battery storage site here, and it's pressing ahead with an appeal to the planning inspectorate. The firm says the scheme would connect power to the local substation, providing electricity to 90,000 homes for up to 2 hours. People living and working close by say they will be paying a much heavier price. John owns the local garden centre and says his customers have already expressed concern.
Our customers come because we're in a rural location. They like the open space and fresh air, and I think that will drastically change with an industrial unit 15 metres away from the coffee shop. One of the last things they would want to be is surrounded by a massive compound with a 4-metre high fence.
Having fought the plan once, the local council is at the forefront of opposing it again, with environmental concerns just one of many.
Any fire water runoff from the operations, if not contained in the area, will run directly into the river here. This is the sort of the River Drone that runs all the way through Dromfield, directly into Chesterfield, and then eventually into the River Don. Any smoke plume which arrives from fire service operations would contain poisonous chemicals, and it would go with the prevailing wind. So there's a huge risk to the public there.
Just worried. Again, we don't know how noisy it's going to be, things like that. We don't know if there's going to be, runoff. There's a stream at the bottom there, pollution, things like that. We don't know what the effects may be. And obviously we've got 3 young children at home.
We're panicking, aren't we?
Yeah.
At just under an acre, the site will be made up of a number of 20-foot units containing battery cells and a brick-built substation at the side of the road. The idea is to store electricity at times of peak generation, and when renewables are low, like wind or solar, they'll be used to power the grid, all of which, says the applicant, will benefit the local area.
Although we recognise that any development in the Greenbelt can be seen as inappropriate, there are very special circumstances. The project itself has to be in the Greenbelt if it is to connect to Jordan Thorpe substation, and it is a project which will bring substantial long-term economic and environmental benefits to both the Dromfield area but nationally.
Campaigners are not convinced and are hoping a good turnout when the planning inspectorate visits on Thursday will strengthen their case. Sally Simpson, ITV News, near Dromfield.
And we'll let you know the outcome when we get it. Now, as the government today announced new sanctions against Russia on the 3rd anniversary of its invasion of Ukraine, those who fled the country for refuge in our region are gathering to mark the day their lives change forever.
A Pray for Peace in Ukraine service is about to start in Shipley in West Yorkshire. We'll be joining our reporter Amelia Beckett live there shortly. But first, she's been speaking to 5 Ukrainians who've made Bradford their home.
Hanging from the banister of the Ukrainian centre in Bradford, angels representing the children killed in this war. Beneath them sit Denis, Anna, Nadia, Tatiana and Marina, Ukrainians who've made this city their home, but never wanted to.
When I came to England, I came 20 days before my 18th birthday.
Denis had just won a scholarship to study at one of the top universities in Kyiv. His mother Anna had already fled Kherson with his sister after it had come under Russian bombardment. To give him a chance at an education, they made the difficult decision to come to Bradford.
He didn't want to study in Great Britain, and we had opportunity, to study maybe in Europe, and I proposed him, and he always told me, I don't want to go anywhere, I want to study in Ukraine. I was very proud about him because he had good grades at school.
Since then, Anna tried to return to Ukraine when she thought the fighting had eased, but it quickly became too dangerous. Nadia's hometown of Kharkiv is so close to Russia, she's never been able to return. Her husband and extended family are still there.
My son, he has no opportunity to come and hug his father. I have no opportunity to come. I even couldn't come to my brother's wedding, but since it is Kharkiv, it's like you don't know when your last moment is going to come. So I would probably come, but I cannot put my son under such a pressure.
3 years on from the start of this war, President Zelensky says Ukraine has lost at least 43,000 soldiers. One of those was Tetiana's brother.
When we left Ukraine, we hugged him last time, and in 2 years and a half, we buried him. So we didn't have chance to see again, to see him alive. I mean, and I just had such feeling that we are saying hello goodbye for forever.
While everyone here longs for home, they're grateful for the support and safety they feel in Bradford. In Ukraine, they know safety is never guaranteed. Just this weekend, Russia launched its biggest drone attack yet. And while there are talks of trying to end this war, President Trump's recent interventions do not give those here hope.
The biggest problem, if they will make a deal now, Russia will come back again. Because how they started in 2013 when they took the Lugansk and invaded Crimea, I completely hate this story. And if they will make this deal, Russia will go back again.
Everyone here knows the road to recovery is long, but they all agree it should not come at whatever cost.
Well, Amelia Beckett is live in Shipley for us tonight. Of course, a Mass for Peace is about to take place there, Amelia, but major developments on the world stage too.
Yeah, that's right, Lara. In the next half an hour, Ukrainians will be gathering here for this special service on this, the third anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine. And while thoughts will, of course, be on loved ones back home, many tell me they've also been watching very closely that diplomatic situation with world leaders gathering in Kyiv today. The Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, joined by video link and told allies they need to step up pressure on Russia on this, the day he announced further sanctions against Vladimir Putin. He was supported by his Security Minister and Barnsley MP, Dan Jarvis.
The Home Secretary and myself have announced this morning that we will be preventing Russian elites who've previously been able to travel to London and the United Kingdom from doing so in the future. That is the right move, both in terms of bolstering our own national security, but also in terms of putting additional pressure on Putin and the Russian regime.
Now, many tell me that they support and welcome that support from the UK and indeed other European countries. But as President Trump continues his U-turn in American foreign policy, they say they're also concerned. While the Prime Minister said that could be an opportunity to end the war, their question is, at what cost?
Amelia, live in Shipley tonight. Thank you very much.
And thank you for being with us for Monday night's calendar. And still to come on the programme, the Championship's biggest match. We're at Bramall Lane, where second place Sheffield United are taking on league leaders Leeds.
And after a very mixed weekend weather-wise, what's in store for the final week of February? A little bit of sunshine, I promise. All the detail a little later on.
Plans to tackle violence and knife crime in West Yorkshire have been launched in Leeds today. West Yorkshire Mayor Tracy Brabin revealed the new police and crime strategy, working with police, support services and charities. It's aiming to improve safety for women and girls, but also for men and boys at risk of knife crime and gangs. It builds on the experiences and concerns of thousands of young people who've taken part in the campaign through a special youth commission.
It can't be right, and this is what I heard from the young people. They were afraid to go to school because they thought they might be harmed, and because they were afraid, they took a knife with them. So this is about also raising awareness about the voices of young people, to say it shames us as adults that they feel so afraid. This is a partnership approach, it's a public health approach. I can't do this on my own, the police can't do it on their own. Everybody has to be involved in creating this solution. I'm hoping this plan is the beginning of that collective approach.
Tracy Brabin there. Now then, we're about a week away from the start of Ramadan, a period of deep spiritual reflection and abstinence for Muslims, which includes fasting from dawn until sunset. The fast is often broken by shared meals in mosques.
In recent years, there have been concerns expressed about the use of single-use cutlery and containers used in the catering for the meals, and there's a growing movement to make Ramadan as eco-friendly as possible. Kevin Ashford reports.
It's one of the most important times of the year for Muslims. Ramadan is a month of prayer, community and fasting. And breaking the fast after sunset often means communal meals at mosques. And at this mosque in Huddersfield, they're taking steps to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
We are not using any more plastic plates for a long time. What we are using bagasse plates or wood plates, or any bamboo plates, wood thing, which is more eco-friendly as well.
But you're here because it matters.
This plastic-free Ramadan workshop was recently held at the House of Lords to promote a more eco-friendly approach to the festival. The organisers say even a change such as reducing the use of plastic bottles can be a small step in the right direction.
Sometimes they think that perhaps plastic-free means to be completely plastic-free. It doesn't. It means we're all on a journey to reduce our single-use plastic. We can't get rid of plastic. It's a super material. It does really good things. But some of the things that it does and the way we've started to use it is where the problem lies. And changing some habits is what we're trying to do here.
Mosque is a very old institute. They don't like changes. They don't like new things coming in. We knew that from day one, that we're going to hit a bit of a brick wall. Changes are coming in slow, but it is coming in, and we are getting a lot of positive information, and some of the mosques are leading as an eco-friendly mosque, as a sustainability mosque. So I think we are in the right time frame to kind of approach the mosque and relay those messages.
So as you can see, as soon as you sort of walk into the mosque, you see these beautiful pillars. Now, the beauty of this is they were all sustainably sourced.
This is said to be the UK's and Europe's first eco-friendly mosque, with its near-zero carbon footprint since it opened in 2019. That's thanks to energy-supplying heat pumps and solar panels. And the mosque's biodiverse community garden adds to its environmental credentials.
There's this principle that occurs throughout the Quran, where they talk about humans being placed as custodians for creation. And we take that very literally in the mosque. So everything from the design ethos of the mosque and the behaviour of staff, volunteers and the congregation is supposed to mirror that upon being custodians and looking after that which is created.
Campaigners estimate up to 500 tonnes of waste could be saved if all mosques manage to go plastic-free this Ramadan. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
The ITV Evening News continues at 6:30. Here's a look at what's happening with Mary Nightingale.
Coming up, world leaders are at a special summit in Kyiv, promising more sanctions against Russia and more support for Ukraine. Today marks exactly 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, and much of the focus now is on what the White House will do next. Here, the Cheshire MP who hit a man complaining about a local bridge closure is jailed. And surprise wins at the SAG Awards. So what could that mean for the Oscars? Would you join me for those stories and more at 6:30?
See you shortly, Mary. Thank you. Now time for the sport, and Chris is here, of course. And we need to talk, don't we, Chris, about what's happening at Bramall Lane tonight?
We do indeed, Ian. Yeah, it's a biggie, isn't it? It's second against first in the Championship, and the small matter of Yorkshire pride at stake.
Xero Accounting Software sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Well, what a night we have in store at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United versus Leeds United, the two best teams in the Championship going head-to-head. Promotion to the Premier League won't be decided tonight, but the result could have a big impact on how the season pans out for both teams. Well, Arif Ahmed is live at Bramall Lane for us now this evening. Arif, how do you see this one going tonight?
Evening, Chris. Welcome to Bramall Lane ahead of this mouth-watering Yorkshire derby. It's sure to be a ferocious and raucous atmosphere inside the stadium come kick-off. Emotions will be high on both sides, just like they were back in October at Ellen Road. Leeds, of course, won that one 2-0. They'll be coming here looking to do the double. Sheffield United, though, looking to restore some Yorkshire pride. And one man that knows all about playing in this fixture and for both sides is top cat Tony Curry. He served both sides with distinction in the 60s and the 70s. I spoke to him when he arrived a little earlier, and he told me he's looking forward to a wide open game of football.
I'm hoping to see a good game where both sides are attacking each other. I think that might be the case tonight. I hope so. Yeah, I'd like us at Sheffield United to play freely if they can. It'll be a difficult match, but looking forward to a good football match.
And I have to ask you, you have played for both sides. Where are your allegiances lying tonight?
Well, 45 years at Sheffield United, so really ambassador of Sheffield United for the last 17 years, so I think I've got to go for them. I think it'll probably be a draw actually, but you know, Sheffield United need the win probably more than Leeds do.
Well, this is of course first versus second in the Championship. The result could go a long way in deciding who will win the league. Should the Blades bag all 3 points, they'll leapfrog Leeds into top spot. But if Leeds do that double, they'll go 5 points clear at the top. This game could be decided on fine margins. One thing is for sure, that is Leeds United's head coach Daniel Farke. He'll be watching this game in the stands. He won't be in the dugout as he's serving a touchline ban, and it's that sort of fine margins that could decide this game, a piece of skill or a mistake. But one thing is for sure, this is a game not to be missed.
Certainly isn't. Arif live at Bramall Lane for us this evening. Enjoy the match. It should be a real cracker. Great to see TC Tony Curry looking well as well. OK, elsewhere this weekend, only 3 winners in the Football League. Barnsley won the Dearne Valley Derby with Rotherham in League One, thanks to a second-half penalty from Adam Phillips there. Doncaster, a second in League Two after a 2-1 win at Accrington, and Bradford have equalled a club record with 9 straight home wins. Their latest came against the MK Dons. And finally from me, well, it wasn't a fairy tale ending for full-time electrician and part-time boxer Josh Padley in his big fight in Saudi Arabia on Saturday.
Josh Paddy Headley!
Quite the introduction. Well, this was a night Josh will remember for the rest of his life. Now, Josh was called up to fight world lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson just 5 days before stepping into the ring, and he certainly showed incredible bravery, taking 3-weight world champion Stevenson all the way to the 9th round before ultimately succumbing to the American's incredible punching power. He may well have lost that fight, but Josh certainly won a new army of supporters and many hearts as well with that performance over in Saudi Arabia.
It was a shame, wasn't it? But
it was.
Yeah, a night he will never forget, as you
say.
The
odds were massively stacked against him, Ian, but he did so well. Did Yorkshire proud, didn't he?
He's got a nice glittery jacket as well, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And shorts to match.
Just what matched him up against the opponent as well, yeah.
Thank you. Now, the Yorkshire coastline is one of the most varied in the country, with some of its cliffs the youngest in the UK to others, well, they're dating back hundreds of millions of years. And for one man from Hull, it's the perfect playground in the hunt for fossils dating back to when dinosaurs roamed the earth, believe it or not. Mark Kemp first started fossil hunting as a child, but around 15 years ago he began to take it a little bit more seriously. Now it's become a career to him, and he says that anyone can give it a go if they have a passion for discovering Earth's hidden treasures.
So we could potentially give this one a hit.
Yeah.
To see if there's an ammonite inside. There we go, just a nice little tap. And then inside there is a beautiful... So this is a Dactylioceras tenui costatum, which is a bit of a mouthful. We call them Dax for short, but it's a beautiful ammonite.
And how old is this one?
This one is from the Jurassic era, which is about 186 million years old.
Wow.
Well, he certainly found a fossil. To find that exclusive story in full and all of Calendar's coverage on ITVX, just go to the ITVX app on your smart TV, phone or online. Then you just need to click on Categories, then you click on News, and then you scroll down to the link where you'll find, well, all of our programmes on there as well to catch up on, plus some of the best stories that we've been covering and other exclusive content for ITVX on demand. So simple and well worth it.
It was good weather on Saturday, wasn't it? To be out looking for fossils.
Amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, not so much yesterday.
No, it was horrible yesterday.
Gusts of nearly 70 miles an hour, but Saturday was so good, wasn't it? What a difference.
It was lovely.
I was away last week. I left on Friday, the previous Friday, it was 2 degrees, and came back and it was 16. And then Saturday was just... It just felt so different. I think it nudged us in the right direction.
I think it's given us all a bit of a lift as well, hasn't it?
And yesterday was disappointing. We did have that wet and windy spell. It sort of dragged its heels a little bit this morning. But oh my goodness, this afternoon, some gorgeous shots. This was Ilkley Moor. Big thank you to our first Matt Barker, who was up there this afternoon, walking, I presume. And this was Matt Patton, who was taking this shot from Wayman's Pinnacle near Cowling in Keighley. It's so gorgeous. I just absolutely love that. The shadows of the cloud. Absolutely beautiful. Weather photos at itv.com. And there you go, that was our almost cloudless sky during the course of this afternoon, our 4 p.m. snapshot before, of course, the sun went down. And we really do need that sunshine that we had today, because this is February's sunshine so far. Most of us have just had half the month's worth, and we've only got 4 days to go. But I can promise you that pretty much on every day this week there will be some sunshine. We've got to get there, and of course the forecast is coming up. But there's something that you might read an Azores high. Of course, this is the Azores, a little cluster of islands west of Portugal out in the Atlantic, and it's an area of high pressure that basically hovers around in this position in the Atlantic for much of the winter and early spring, and we're just tapping into that as we head through a Thursday. So from Thursday towards the weekend, we've got a influence of an Azores high. So
have we?
Yes. Oof. So something a little bit more settled towards the end of the week to look forward to, where of course we say goodbye to February and our meteorological winter. So I'll be talking about spring from the weekend.
It'll be getting lighter, won't it? Thank you. OK. Now, we've got 2 lovely stories to end the show with tonight. The first involves a sprinting monk, no less. A few weeks ago, we told you about Father John from a monastery in Mirfield who was going for gold at the Lee Valley Athletics Championships. Well, he did get gold in the 400 metres. Now, the 82-year-old said it was against all odds because they merged age groups and he had to compete against sprightly 75-year-olds. He's also raised more than £6,000 for the charity Toriro, a charity that funds projects for young people in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, well done, Father John. And as if that wasn't enough, it's congratulations to a homegrown talent who wowed Ant and Dec on Saturday's Britain's Got Talent.
I was alone making breakfast and I found myself saying, "It's Saturday morning. I'm in the kitchen. Why?"
Well, millions tuned in to watch the show to see impressionist Will Burns get the golden buzzer and a pass direct to the live shows from the hosts. Well, the comedian, who's a massive BGT fan, was a little bit overwhelmed.
Did you see what he said there? You've changed my life.
Amazing, isn't it?
I know, it's wonderful.
Oh, congratulations, Will, definitely.
Congratulations. Here's Kerry.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. It hasn't been a bad start to the new working week. There was a front this morning, so a very wet and windy start during the early hours, but pushing its way south and eastwards, and very much like the last couple of days, when the sun's been out, it's been out, but we do have to cater for a few showers mixed in with our sunny spells over the next couple of days. So as we head into tomorrow, we continue with that westerly flow, some showers developing during daylight hours, and then an area of low pressure will bring some possibly more significant showers for midweek on Wednesday, certainly earlier on. And then we start to see the high pressure build, and by Friday it's right over us, and hopefully it's staying over us at least for the weekend. So in the shorter term, as we head through into tonight, we have got a weakening front pushing from west to east, so it becomes more showery as it pushes through the region, but there will be a few showers in the mix overnight tonight. But under the clearer spells, in rural shelter spots from that west-southwesterly flow, there will be 2s and 3s by the time we reach dawn. So a chilly enough start tomorrow, a bright enough start, especially further south you are. We are expecting a few showers to start to develop during the morning and certainly into the afternoon across most parts. There'll be a little bit more in the way of clouds and a higher risk of catching a shower. 1 or 2 of those showers could be on the sharp side, but they'll move through quite quickly along that westerly flow, and temperatures back down to near normal for most of us, around 9 Celsius, pretty much where we'd expect for the time of year. As we head into Wednesday, we've got this system coming through that area of low pressure. Could be a little bit wintry over the hills first thing on Wednesday morning, and then a rash of showers. But from Thursday, the high pressure builds, dry and bright light winds, but chilly by night.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Kerry, I love that photo behind.
I know, the crocuses, it's just such a beautiful time of year, isn't it? We've got lots and lots of gorgeous sights to see over the next few weeks.
I know, I'm excited that spring is on its way.
Lots to look forward to, and the late news is at 10:30, so look forward to that. From us all, a very good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.